Celeb Secrets is hanging out with Jake Thomas today. What's going on, Jake? How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
Not much, not much. Super excited to talk to you, though. I feel like, everyone tells you we grew up watching you on TV, and I feel like you are like TV's younger brother. Like everyone knows you for it, everyone loves you for it. So this is super exciting to get to talk to you. 25 years of Lizzie McGuire's coming up.
Yeah, 25 years. Kind of crazy to think about. I mean, a quarter of a decade later, and here we are. We're still talking about it, which is nuts.
I know. It really does feel like yesterday, though. Obviously, time has passed. When you were in that moment, I know you were super young, but did you ever think it would have the legacy that it does now?
I don't think anybody could have predicted the legacy that it would have, this many years down the road. It's kind of insane. I honestly, I don't even think, Disney really even knew it would be as popular as it was during that time. It just kind of, it just caught on like lightning. It was kind of crazy.
It really, really did. I mean, it resonated with so many people. I'm 30 now, so when it came out, I was 5 years old, and I was loving every minute of it. Like, I was so sad when it was over.
I love it. That's great.
Right? And people still quote, your character and Hillary's character and kind of these scenarios. Does that really feel surreal to you that there are fans that are still quoting what you guys were doing 25 years ago?
It's crazy surreal. Just, I've been saying that, the Liz McGuire franchise still it's just got a chokehold on the millennial audience to this day. And it's just part of the millennial experience at this point, I feel like.
It really, really is. And what's maybe like one behind the scenes memory that still kind of cracks you up to this day?
Let's see, a behind the scenes memory that cracks me up to this day. Oh man. Trying to think of a really good one for you. I think there's one. So I've talked about the Kung Fu episode a lot before, how that was like basically one of my favorite episodes I've ever done. Mm-hmm. But there's a little known fact about that, which was I actually had a Kung Fu teacher that taught me how to do a couple of the moves and everything that was on set. And I believe he was actually the stunt performer that wore the Donatello suit on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie. Oh my God. And when I was like 10 or 11, I was like, that's the coolest. You're the biggest celebrity I've ever met in my life.
No, seriously, that would stick with me too if I had that opportunity. Like, are you kidding? Like you said, you were 10, 11 years old. How many of your own childhood antics made their way into Matt's chaotic moments, do you feel?
I don't think a lot of my own chaotic moments overlapped with Matt's. I mean, every day that I went to work on Liz McGuire was just an absolute joy, because for me, it was, what crazy stunt am I going to do today? What funny joke am I going to do? Every day was like a new adventure for me. So, I mean, like, that was every 10, 11-year-old's dream to go and do that every day.
Yeah, totally. And it had to be a lot, but also really exciting at that time, because you are growing, you're learning, you're still kind of in school. And then people will probably recognize you on the street because there really was no social media back then. What was that process like for you kind of growing up on this show?
I think, the first time I was ever really recognized was probably in the 5th grade, when we had just kind of started Liz McGuire and some promos were coming out. And previously, I had done a lot of work previously prior to Liz McGuire, but all of that work was majority like kind of dramatic work. Okay. I hadn't really done any like kids content kind of stuff. I'd done like The Cell, which was no kids were going to see that movie. and this was the first time that I'd ever experienced being recognized. And I just remember it was one day in particular where they started playing, I guess, the promos like the weekend prior, and everybody came up to me. These are kids that I have spent, grades kindergarten through 5th grade with, growing up around, and they're all coming up to me like, weren't you on a thing on TV? What's that about?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a totally crazy new experience to me. And then it was never the same after that.
No.
It was, now it's just, I still get recognized for it today, which is crazy.
I know. And what do you think was it though that made it so special and everyone loved you guys?
I think what made the show so special, and I think this is the thing that maybe set it apart from a lot of other shows that came afterwards, is that each episode always had some type of lesson or heartfelt, message about family or friends or growing up. I feel like the easy way out for a lot of kids' entertainment is just do the gags, do the funny stuff. Don't worry about like too much plot. But like that stuff really stuck with kids. And to this day, like the messages that, Lizzie McGuire taught us, have become values that we hold.
Do you think that you could still recite any lines now to this day if you were given scripts back?
Oh man. I mean, we did do a Zoom table read during COVID, way back when I think it was that Kung Fu. I think it was that bra episode. That was very fun. That it just all came back to me. Okay. But probably the lines that everybody always repeats are the doorbell. I'll get that, that's a classic. Yeah. I think I probably said that. I don't know what the official count is for that episode. It was probably like in the hundreds that I said that line. And then one which I don't even remember that well, but a lot of people have recited this to me, which is Tarzan Nazrat. Tarzan is Nazrat backwards and Nazrat vice versa, but for some reason that line has stuck with people.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that
was one of Matt's skills. He could say anything backwards.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I feel like, with the pandemic resurging and people were watching the, shows like Lizzie McGuire again, a lot of things went viral and memes came out of them. Do you have a favorite Lizzie McGuire meme or viral moment that still kind of lives rent free in your head?
I mean, I'm a little biased in that my favorite Liz McGuire related meme has to be the one where it's Matt on the couch. It's during the doorbell episode where he's all diva'd up. He's got the red sunglasses and he's got a phone, and that became listen, if there's no blank, fill in the blank, I'm not going. I love that one. That one's fantastic. I've seen so many variations of it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, sadly, a reboot never fully happened. But if Matt McGuire existed in 2025, like, where do you think he would be? What do you think he'd be doing? Whatever he would be doing, I would say he would be annoyingly successful at it. Yeah. He would absolutely be rubbing Lizzie's nose in it, and what else? I mean, I feel like he'd be like on the forefront of crypto or something like that, It'd be very Matt coded. Oh, absolutely. And what's something maybe like fun and lighthearted about your Disney Channel days that fans don't know that they would be surprised to?
Something that fans don't know that they might be surprised about. I mean, I've talked about a couple things, like I've never actually been to Rome, which is a crazy fun fact. Still to this day, never been. But what else? I would say the amount of scenes that Hillary and I had together were actually very few and far between. We'd have maybe one or two within an episode, unless our storylines were really heavily interacting with each other. Yeah. But for the most part, because I was always the B story and she was the A story, they would have to trade off so that one group of kids could go do school and then vice versa. So we seldom really had a lot of scenes together, which if you go back and watch, you'll kind of realize. I'd say that's kind of a fun fact that I feel like people don't know.
Yeah, no, that's totally interesting because, thinking back on it now, you guys did have separate storylines. You had separate friends. Everyone really was kind of in their own thing. But when you intertwine, it wasn't really that much.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I love that. And if you could kind of give your younger self one piece of advice, knowing what you know now about, TV business, what would it be?
just keep at it. I don't think I regret anything that I've done in my career, and I've been very fortunate that I've had a great experience. I've gotten to do some amazing roles.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't tell myself to do anything differently. I'd just tell myself just cherish it even more.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. But, being a child actor, sometimes there's a lot of pressure with it, after you come off this big high from the series and then you're kind of navigating who you are post the show that was kind of your breakout role. Was there ever a moment where you considered walking away from acting entirely and doing something completely different?
I think I went through a phase in my life where I was in college and I wasn't, I decided to kind of like slow down on auditions a little bit. I was just taking classes and as many things as I could. And I kind of delved into photography for a while. Yeah. And I like was really heavily into that, and I was kind of thinking like, maybe I could, see a future of myself doing commercial photography, doing key art for shows and stuff. And I think, a couple years later, I got pulled out of that in a way. I think around the time that like the reboot was happening. And really, I feel like I've kind of come full circle because having that time behind the camera and getting the skills that I, learned and gained from that time really has helped me become not only a better actor, but it's also opened up doors for me because now I've started directing a lot too on the side, and I've been able to work like with Nickelodeon a lot, working with kid talent and stuff. I kind of have that insight of working with kids because I've been there in their shoes. I would say everything really just kind of came full circle with me. And I've been always an advocate of the idea that no skill learned is ever wasted, because there's always something down the road where you're going to use that skill, you're going to use that knowledge somewhere.
Yeah, no, absolutely.